Just about.
Go. Hello, we're checking to see whether people can hear me. You should be able to hear me. I'm hopeful that you can hear me. I'm tapping away, clicking away, and please let me know into the chat. So, aha, there he is. Yes, yep, we can. Brilliant. That's fantastic. And I'm just going to log in here so that I get a copy of the Good. All right. No, don't start. No. Okay, very, very clever. Right, ladies and gentlemen, hello, how are you all? I hope you're well. We've got 17 people with us. We'll just wait for a couple of moments before we get cracking. And I've now got, after last week's shenanigans, I've got me hope so tea. Very good, Hillary. Oh, miserable. Right. After last week's shenanigans, I've got a little screen that's set down here so I can see whether I'm actually broadcasting to you. So hopefully, if we drop out, I'm afraid my my system hasn't been sorted by BT yet. So I'm still broadcasting from this tiny little dongle. If we break down in mid-broadcast, I will try to rejoin you. You stay there, and I should be able to rejoin you. And we've got 23 people, so we'll just wait a second while we build up numbers and attendance, and then we will start doing some singing. So I hope you've all been well. The good news, as far as we're concerned, the absolutely fantastic news, is that since the launch of our charity single that some of you were involved in, we have raised over £5,800, I think now, since Friday, which is just unbelievable. And if you haven't had the chance yet, do please go onto the BBC Sounds app, where you can listen to yesterday's performance of In Tune, in which Sean Rafferty introduced Chantry singers, Heart Voices, plus 9 Barrow, and gave the performance and just introduced the choirs as if, well, yes, everybody knows who they are. So that was really, really something quite special. And hopefully hopefully later this week, that is tomorrow, I think, there's going to be a broadcast on BBC Radio 2 in the late programme, the folk programme. So brilliant news. Well done, everybody. And well done, everybody, for sharing the living daylights out of every single file that everybody's sent your way on Facebook or Twitter, or other forms of social media are available. Anyway, let's do some singing. So this time we're going to do this exercise. Instead of going, we're going to be using our woo. So breathing into our mouths, and I would like you to just take the breath in and release as if you're blowing out some candles and puffing out your cheeks. So, and let's take in a breath again. Remember, the tummy needs to feel relaxed on the breath in. And the relaxation can happen pretty quickly. Once you've pushed your muscles out, and you've pushed your muscles in to breathe out, you can then relax everything pretty quickly, and your lungs will expand downwards. And that is a much faster movement than I think most of us are used to. We're used to breathing in a way that goes and expanding the chest. That takes a hell of a lot of effort. Doesn't take any effort because all of the muscles are relaxing. So here we go. We're going to do one of those, and this time puffing your cheeks out and elongate that breath to a count of 5. Breath in and at which point you should be empty. Let's do the same thing to a count of 7. Breath in. Breath in and a count to 9. Ready? And brilliant. And now let's vocalize on that breath. I'm going to vocalize to a count of 7. So here we go. Deep breath in and count of 9. Breath in. And this time we're going to give you some pitches to work on. So here's a B flat chord. Always love a B flat chord. And so we're going to do fifths and octaves. Make sure you're carrying the breath on, carrying the slide up and down on the breath. That means you're really feeling that the work that you're doing down here is also the work that's producing the note. Don't feel that you're doing anything there. Ready? Breath in, and here's a B flat, and so this is just an extension of the straw into a glass of water exercise. Upper semitone, 1. Upper semitone, 1 and upper semitone, 1 and 2. One more up there, 1. Good. And now as we're getting the hang of this, we can just start speeding it along a little bit. Upper semitone, 1, 2. Upper semitone, 1 and 2. Good. Just double checking where we are. One more for everyone. 1, 2. Good. And basses and altos can now set themselves to one side and just listen to the glorious sound happening from the rest of the choir. Upper semitone, 1 and 2. One more. I keep lying, don't I? It's another couple. Sliding as much as you can. You should feel that quite easy on the up. One more, 1 and 2. So again, feel your cheeks puffing out. That was the top A. We'll do one more. 1 and good. Okay, basses and altos join us again. We're going to transfer from with puffed out cheeks to an R vowel sound without puffed out cheeks, obviously. Let's take us back into here. So what I'd like you to do is 1, 2. Some people again might find there being an automatic tendency for the note to go slightly flat when they've changed from singing to oh. So if that's happening, really think about that and retune it northwards so that the fundament of your pitch stays the same. Okay. One more breath in and one and two. Just checking where we are. 1, 2. And again, you remember we've mentioned the tongue position. Make sure that when you change to the tongue opened, sorry, I've got to start again. When you change to an open mouth position, that your tongue allows itself to rise forwards. Okay, quite a high position for the middle part of your tongue. That bit there. Sorry, let's take it here. 1 and 2. Upper semitone. 1, 2. Okay, great. Basses and altos. Actually, this is the last one that the basses and altos should still be able to do. 1, 2. Tenors and sopranos. 1, 2. Jaw nice and low and loose. 1, 2. One more, 1 and 2. Great. Back. Welcome the basses and altos back. And let's start here. And can we sing, please? Ya, 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 ya. 1, 2. Ya, 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 ya. Upper semitone. Ya, 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 ya. And try and make, sorry, clearing it out. Just try and make sure now, from as we go northwards, that it is your tongue that's doing the ya, 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 and not your jaw. Ya, 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 ya. There will be a little bit of jaw movement, but not too much. Make it the tongue that's doing most of the work. Okay, let's take it to here. 1 and 2. Ya, 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 ya. And 1, 2. Ya, 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 ya. 1. Ya, 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 ya. 1, 2. Ya, 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 ya. So all the brilliance that you sing in E, make sure it's still present in I, ya, ya. 1 and 2. Ya, 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 ya. 1 and 2. Ya, 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 ya. I'm holding myself so that you might be able to see the tongue position because I was standing a bit far back and I couldn't actually see anything except a black hole. 1 and 2. Ya, 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 ya. 1 and 2. Ya, 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 ya. Tenors, you should find that that's taking you through that awkward little corner. Ya, ya, ya. Up into head resonance and back down again. Okay, let's see where we are. Yes, good. That's the last one that the basses and altos should be able to do. Let's try it one more time. Yeah, and 1 and 2. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sopranos and alto, sopranos and tenors upwards. Yeah, 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 yeah. See if you can mix that resonance. The note should be nicely settled down here for the tenors. Yes, up into the head, but not falsetto, which is what I just did then. And sopranos, just make sure that that first note, which you should be singing up there, is nicely in your head already, and that everything forms itself up into that area. A little bit of a yawn can always help. Yeah, let's do that one again. 1 and 2. Yeah, 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 yeah. And 1 and yeah, 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 yeah. Again, let the tongue do the working, not your jaw. Yeah, 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 yeah. And 1. Yeah, 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 yeah. And probably one more. Why not? Let's go for break. 1, 2. Yeah, 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 yeah. Find where that resonant position is and try and keep your jaw low and loose. Low and loose the whole time. Great. Now, it's that time again. We've been doing pentatonic exercises. Do, re, mi, sol, la. And we've also last week included the magic and who could forget? Who could forget fa? No, it's right. It wasn't me this time. Who could forget that? Now we're going to introduce, and actually, no, we're not going to introduce the new note just yet. We will in a moment. Let's remind ourselves of those exercises, those scales first. So we're going to do that in C major, just because it's easy. Okay, do. So I'll sing a note, you sing it back. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. The pet cat's joining in. I don't know if you can see that over there. She's sitting down there and she's just started meowing. I don't know if the microphone can pick that up. I'm very sorry if so. Please let me know in the chat if it's upsetting you. Okay, I've often been accused of sounding like a strangled cat, but today you actually get the real thing. Right. So now let's do it a little bit faster, and we're still moving up and down the scale. Okay, so remember where your notes go. Ready? I can't remember the key. 1, 2. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, sol, sol, la, sol, do, la, sol, sol, fa, mi, fa, sol, la, sol, sol, fa, mi, re, mi, re, do. Sel, I completely agree with you. There aren't enough cats in YouTube videos, but you should be singing. I'm not typing. Right, here we go. Ready, and so now what we're going to do is we're going to start moving about a little bit so that we don't always step up one step at a time. Okay, that they could move around as much as, you know, could move from do to la, which is a 6. Okay, ready? Here we go. Yes, you can do both. Very, very impressive. Good. I'm not entirely certain I can. Right, here we go. So there's our C again. Ready? Go. Do, re, mi, do, fa, do, sol, la, sol, do, sol, do, la, do, sol, mi, fa, re, mi, sol, do, re, do. Well done. Is your brain fried? Or you've just managed that perfectly well? That's brilliant. So, look, let's just talk about intervals. I know some people have done grade 5 theory and have done degrees in music, and I'm sorry that you're just going to have to sit there and drink your tea for a moment. All of these intervals from do to any of the other notes that we've dealt with is a major interval, unless it's a fourth or a fifth, which we just call perfect. And that is because they you can't have a minor fourth. The minor scale has the same fourth and fifth in it as the major scale, and so you can't really do that. But it's also just to do with the mathematics of it, and it's also, as we've explained, the fifth is in the harmonic series and therefore sounds perfect, and the fourth, whilst not in the harmonic series in the same way, is nevertheless present. It leads up to do rather than leading from do, and is therefore also considered, in a way, perfect. Anyway, all the rest of those intervals are major intervals. Do, re is a major second. Do, mi is a major third. Do, fa is a perfect fourth. Do, sol is a perfect fifth. Do, la is a perfect major sixth. I'll get my brain around it eventually. And the do is your octave. So recognizing those intervals is a really, really useful thing to do. And when you look at a piece of music, establishing the key and what note is do really helps with sight reading, because you can then pitch all the rest of the notes around do. And do is do, whatever the key, even minor keys, and we will deal with that in subsequently. Not quite yet. Right, let's do a couple more exercises like that, and then we'll get moving on to reading some notes. Okay, so I'm going to take it up a tone, just because I feel the tension rising. Ready, go. Do, re, do, mi, do, fa, do, sol, la, sol, do, mi, do, re, do, sol, do, fa, do, mi, do, re, la, sol, fa, mi, re, sol, do. I think you've got the hang of that. So what I'd like you to do is to turn briefly to the sight reading booklet on the sheets that I sent out. Now, you may find those on your computer screen, in which case you don't need to look at me. But for people who haven't, I'd like you to look at that picture here. This is a very, very early example of hand symbols to indicate pitches. I've mentioned to you Guido d'Arezzo, this Italian monk who came up with the system of do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. He actually came up with ut, re, mi, fa, sol, la, didn't come up with ti, and his set of hand symbols is explained by this wonderful document. This is an example, I think, found in the Bodleian Library of the scale and how to fit all of the notes together. And essentially how it works, and this is out of historical interest rather than anything else, is that this is our basic ut, the basic note around which all is based. And you would think that that would be C, but in fact it turns out to be G. And it's this G, which I can barely sing at this time of day. And that's that note there. And then it basically goes around the hand using the creases in your knuckles. So this is ut, re, mi, and we go here. Fa, sol, la, and then we can't go any further. That particular tone row is finished. So we've got to la. But if you remember, the fourth was introduced much later because it had this complicating feature. It takes us to a new key. So ut, re, mi, fa. That seems to be a new key. So it becomes a new ut. Okay, ut starting on G, A, B, C. So ut, re, mi, fa, sol, la. Takes us up to that little crease there. And then we run out of notes again. But as we've explained, ut, re, mi, fa, that gives us a new note that seems like a central note, and that's F. So ut becomes F, and we go up here. Ut, re, mi, fa. That's the awkward note there because that's a B flat there. Fa, sol, la. At which point we run out. Okay? La, sol, fa, mi, re, ut. But this was an F. Therefore, this one here is a G. And we start all over again with ut starting on the G. Ut, re, mi, fa, sol, la. We run out. La, sol, fa, but fa was C. And so we start a new one. Ut, re, mi. Now we've run out of fingers. So we go down the finger and the knuckles. Mi, fa, sol, and so on. We go round the hand and eventually into a spiral into the middle, and we finish, I think, on that one there. And that note is this one. So that gives you in one hand all the notes that could possibly be sung by any cathedral singer at the time, any monastery singer. The basses would go down to a bottom G, the altos would go up to a top D, and all of the rest of the notes would be presented in one hand. Okay, so an interesting system, and not one that eventually caught on, but it did form the basis of music theory for a very, 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 very long time. However, we're going to look, please, at the next sheet of paper that I gave you, which has a number of hexachordal rounds. So that's the sheet of paper marked hexachordal rounds. Okay, and you will recognize this. You will recognize some of this. I mean, the first one. So again, I'm using this system whereby we are starting with a do mixed, represented by that little lozenge shape. And then the notes just continue. Now you'll recognize this, so you may as well sing it now to do, re, mi. Here we go. Do. And the magic of this is we can all sing it together, and then you can sing it as a round with me. Ready? 2, 3, 4. Do, re, mi, do, re, mi, do, mi, fa, sol, sol, la, sol, fa, mi, do, sol, la, sol, fa, mi, do, so, do, so, do. Okay, now you can either sing along with me and do that one again, just to get used to where do we position the notes and reading the words out while you're sight reading the notes. But also, you can now sing it as a round. So obviously, you can start when I get 2 bars in, or when I get 4 bars in, or when I get 6 bars in. You could vary it each time. I'm only going to do it one more time though. Here we go. 1, 2. Do, re, mi, do, re, mi, do, mi, fa, so, mi, fa, so, fa, mi, re, mi, do, sol, la, so, fa, mi, do, so, do, so, do. Whoops. Good. Okay. Well done. We will. I mean, that was the easy one in because you all recognize that one. Let's look at number 2. Some of you may have done this one before. Now, here's the useful thing, isn't it? Because I've represented do to you as a loss in shape, and you've noticed that this one doesn't start on do. It starts on so. So if I give you do, which sounds like this, you can now pitch your first note. Do, re, so. And we've got an introduction of a new rhythm device, the 3-time bar, triple time. Do, mi, re, do. So here we go. We're going to have to sing through this all together, starting on so. Ready? And 1, 2, 3. So, mi, re, do. Do, sol, sol, la, so, mi, re, mi, do, la, do. Top do. Do, so, la, mi, fa, la, do, mi, re, do. And there you have the whole tune. It's beautiful. Now let's try that one more time. I think we might try it twice more, just to give people an opportunity to start at different places. So you can either start 4 bars in, or you can start 8 bars in, and that's pretty much it. So choose one of those two, and I'm not going to play this while singing it. Here we go. So do is there, so is there. Ready? And also, just one before we do this, do try the challenge of doing this to the tonic solfa. Okay, I know that there's a tendency to think, oh my, I'm just going to sing it to la. Try that. The whole point is to try this in your privacy of your own home, and where you can get it wrong. Stretch your brain. Ready? Here we go. So, mi, do. 1, 2, 3. So, mi, re, do. Do, so, la, so, mi, re, mi, do, la, do. Do, so, la, mi, fa, la, do, mi, re, do. Good. Okay, so try a different tack now. Either, if you're struggling, sing along with me. If you're way ahead of this, then I'm going to start. Well, I'm just going to sing it through, whatever happens. But what I'd like you to do is then maybe form the second voice and start singing 4 bars in. Or this time, if you did that last time, change to starting 8 bars in. Here we go. And 1, 2, 3. So, mi, re, do. Do, so, la, so, mi, re, mi, do, la, do. Do, so, so, la, 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 mi, 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 fa, la, do, mi, re, do, so, mi, re, do. Good. And there you go. So this is kind of one way, one strange way in which we can actually make harmony together on via YouTube, isn't it? Two-part rounds. Okay, let's have a look at the next one. So this time, do has changed its position to this note. And again, you're not starting on do, are you? And so I'm going to give you a moment just to work out what note we do start on. There's do. And it is, of course, so, sol, la, ti, do, fourth down. So this one goes like this. Let's have a sight read of it together. This is going to take us up to a top E, which I think most people should be able to do. So one, sorry, we're in 2, aren't we? So no, we're not in 2/4, are we? I have no idea what's happened there. It's actually 2/2, isn't it? Or 4/4. No idea what happened there. Ready? So it starts 1, 2, so, 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 do, do, re, re, so, 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 mi, mi, re, re, do. Good, well done. Let's try that one more time. And this time, again, if you're completely on top of it, you could try coming in halfway through the first bar. So, 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 do, do, mi, so, 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 do, like that. Okay, here it is. 1, 2, and so, 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 do, do, re, re, so, 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 mi, mi, re, re, do. So, 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 do, do, re, re, so, 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 mi, mi, re, re, do. Right, we're going to try it slightly faster now. Okay, and if you were just singing along with me, now form a canon, okay? Or if you were doing the second part, now go on to the third part. And if you've done all 3, go off and make a cup of tea. Here we go. 1, 2, so, 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 do, do, re, re, so, 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 mi, mi, re, re, do. So, 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 do, do, re, re, so, 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 mi, mi, re, re, do. Great. Okay, and we've got one more, which I think is the most exciting one. A lot of these canons are canons that appeared in a volume published by Gottfried Wolters, German music educationalist in the 1950s and 60s, or at least the publications came out then, and 40s, 50s, and 60s. And a lot of these are Christmas canons, so I'm sort of full of Christmas and smelling fir trees at the moment. Here we go, last one. So our do is now this. So you can pitch your first note, do. I'm going to give you a little bit longer to work it out. Do. The note is, of course, so. Well done. And so it starts with so, mi, do, do, re, re, la. So, do, do, re, mi. So let's try that bit together. Ready? 1, 2. So, mi, do, do, re, re, la. So, do, do, re, mi. And the next bit, let's have a sight read of it. There's your so again. 3, 4. So, mi, fa, sol, la, so, fa, so, mi. Very good. You're all getting ahead of me on this. So let's try that one more time from the third bar in, third complete bar rather. 1, 2. So, mi, fa, sol, la, so, fa, so, mi. And then you'll notice that it repeats all the way back to the first complete bar. So let's try that again. Here we go. So, 1, 2. So, mi, do, re, la. So, do, re, mi. So, mi, fa, sol, la. So, fa, so, mi. Back. Do, re, la. So, do, re, mi. So, mi, fa, sol, la, so, fa, so, mi. Do, re, la. So, do, re, mi. Excellent. Now, I didn't write down where this occurs as a canon in this one here. So, mi, do, re, la. So, do, re, mi. So, mi, do, re, la. So, do, re, mi. Is how it fits together. Actually, I'm not sure that's true. Sorry. Hang on. It works like that. So, in fact, the second voice comes in where the first voice reaches that A. Do, re, so, mi, do, re, la. Okay, so start then. So you could put a little 2 above that A. I'll show it to you there. Okay, here we go. So, and 1, 2. So, mi, do, re, la. So, do, re, mi. So, mi, fa, sol, la. So, fa, so, mi. Do, re, la. So, do, re, mi. Okay, brilliant. Well done. Let's put that aside. And now I wanted to work a little bit on the 2 pieces of Rachmaninoff that we did last week. Because this was the bit that I was talking for about 15 minutes into a dead YouTube signal and wasn't aware. But I just looked down at my mobile phone and my hands. And yes, if I wave my hand, oh, good. Yes, no, it's still there. It's very close. So can we please turn to the first 2 of those pieces that I sent you? This is the one that starts with the word Amin and then goes Pridite poklonimся Tsarevi. And we just need to concentrate on pronunciation because this is something that it's obviously, one of the main things that choral singers have to do is they have to sing in lots of different languages and they have to know all about these. And that's something that you only gain through experience. So here's the first thing. Our first word, Amin, with a slight ny, not so loud that it sounds Spanish, but just enough so that it's not Amin. Amin. It's a lovely softening. Okay, and then we'll just go through the text. Придите. So again, that's a tie, not a te. Придите, поклонимся. So it's not nim, but ним, ни. Нимся. Цареви. Again, ре, not re. Реви. Нашему Богу. And when in performances that I've heard of Russian singing this, the sh is rather than sh, like our English. Shut up! Shh. Okay, so on to the next one. Придите, the next phrase. Поклонимся и Now, here is a can of worms. In modern Russian, this word is pripadyom, but in Church Slavonic, it's pronounced pripadyem. Much in the same way that Germans sing der instead of der. They say der Tisch, der Mantel, but they sing der. And when I asked some German choral singers why they did that, they weren't aware that they were doing it, but they did. So diem, and then this lovely sound, Christu. So it's the same that we make on the beginning of the word huge, almost, but it's slightly more open. Christu Цареви. Again, it's rie, not re. Rievi na. There's another lovely shemu Bogu. And next, придите, поклонимся и припадем. Again. Самому Христу Цареви и Богу. And we're on to the last little section, нашему. Sorry, that's left over from the last phrase. And finally, придите. Again, this is sit it with two syllables which are identical on identical chords. It does need to be given separate weight. Придите. So, придите, поклонимся и припадем ему. Let's have a look at some music. Okay, we will go straight into this. So, I'm going to angle you down here. You can see the mess that is my living room. And let us do a little sight read of it. Now, my keyboard sight reading, as you know, is atrocious. I will be taking some one or two of you up on your offers, your kind offers to record accompaniments to this. For the moment, I'm going to scrabble my way through. So here we are. Here's a C major chord. Now you can decide which